Let's pray. Father in heaven, we're so grateful to be in your house. We have had so many good things. We want more, Father. So we continue to ask for your presence. We continue to ask that you open our eye of understanding. We continue to want to fellowship with you. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. So I am probably the least likely person to be talking about enhancing your social media profile. And my friends are giggling because they know me. But God has a sense of humor, does he not? In my line of work, I'm in private equity and investments, and I do a bit of corporate finance and advisory stuff. And one of the businesses that I'm involved in is a media group. And hey, one of them is like in social media, and they work with influencers, all these things that are kind of crazy that I would be involved in because I have like very limited experience. But I reached out to my brother Amani because I thought, I think God is asking me to, and I'm also not good at putting myself out there. I'm not good at talking to you guys who are family about what I do is like already difficult for me, I try to skip over that as quickly as possible. Yeah. So I thought, let me speak to the guy I know who's an expert at LinkedIn. Because if I'm going to venture into being a steward of what God is doing in my life, I think there's something about LinkedIn I might be able to maneuver. And maybe there are other people who struggle to understand the relevance or the impact that LinkedIn can have. So Brother Amani is passionate about this, which is why I was like, he's the best person actually, if anyone needs advice on LinkedIn. And so, beloved, I want you to maybe tell us about why you think LinkedIn is, and firstly, is LinkedIn relevant if you are self-employed, you're an entrepreneur, you're someone looking for work, perhaps, and someone who is in a work, who is working but is employed.
Yeah. So indeed, I am so passionate about LinkedIn, and those who are on LinkedIn who are connected would have seen me publish a few things every week. LinkedIn is for everyone. Let me just start there. And I was trying to get as many people as possible to stay as long as possible so I can say this. I'm not sure how else to say it so that it's more startling, but LinkedIn is so crucial for everyone. I've been trying to recruit everybody I can. I'm failing to recruit my friend Tsepo there. Because of the impact it's had on my life, right? So maybe as a hook, whenever you're crafting something for LinkedIn, you need to use a hook so that someone goes for more. Maybe I should use my own story, and this is my profile at the moment, and I'm going to use it as a reference in terms of what you could do. But just to start, maybe from a beloved, I don't know if I'm putting inverted comma testimony. My business is like, so I left employment. Maybe let's start from there. I wasn't employed for about 13 years, and then I got inside employment for about a year. And then I left to start this business. And I'm about almost 2 years now. But the before and after LinkedIn difference is ginormous. It took me such a long time to establish myself in terms of meeting decision makers in my business before that. Post LinkedIn, I cannot tell you how many decision makers I've sat in front of in not all is a big word, but in big corporate, even when I was a one-man show, and even now, like literally, I have a lot of partnerships and associations, but I get to meet with decision makers. That's the difference LinkedIn does. And I'll frame it in this fashion. So, my sister was there, she's in property, and she'll tell you, in property is about location, right? I didn't see your reaction. I thought you'd identify with this, but it's fine.
It's location,
Maybe
location.
LinkedIn is location with a capital H, like in caps and bold and italics and everything. Because LinkedIn has about 1 billion people. That's number one in the social media, this networking. And your potential employer, if you're an employee, is there. Your potential collaborators are there. As a business person, your potential clients are on LinkedIn, right? And the idea behind this is to say now, not only should you be there, that's a fun. You must be on this channel, and I'll tell you why. So let me make this example. So I mean, depending on your business, and businesses differ, beloved. But there's someone I was making a joke outside with, I think about 6 months ago, and I was saying on Instagram you'll get a 25,000 job, and on LinkedIn you'll get a 2 million rand job. Why? Because that's where corporates are at. At such a big level. Every employee, almost, I would say maybe 90% of whoever is employed somewhere is in here on LinkedIn. And so it's so crucial for you to be there. Right? And so with this profile, I just want to highlight a few things, beloved, if you let me.
Go ahead.
The idea of being on LinkedIn. So the game of LinkedIn is somewhat different from what I remember of, and I've only restarted now in what Facebook and Instagram. It's been a while, but we'll shelve that for another day. But LinkedIn, you have to be clear about what it is that you do. So what is it that you do? Number one, how do you do it, and with whom? Right? And so
what is it that you do?
So yes, what it is that you do.
Okay.
And that's why I put this as, I just screenshot my own. When someone comes to your LinkedIn profile, in 5 seconds, they must know what it is that you do and how you do it. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to understand, right? So that's why I'm putting mine here to say, I'm trying to get them to understand that I do rewards. I'm trying to get them to see that, how do I use those rewards in a way that will answer their problems, right? So it's so crucial that you frame, whether you're an employee or a business person, you're framing your narrative here in how you're going to answer their questions. So you obviously have whom you want to work with in your mind, right? So I want to use Mace, for example, here with her studio. She has to, in that headline, she has to say what she does. She has to say somehow in a clever way that she runs her own studio, and she has to say what are the next steps. So for me, I want you to know that I'm a loyalty and rewards expert. I want you to know that I use the rewards to get you brand loyalty and to elevate your sales. And the next step I want you to do beyond the 6,000 part, that's just to give me credibility. But the next step is to get you to answer my survey. That survey for me is a funnel, right? So if you click there and you answer the survey, it will get you to, I'm trying to get you to awake to see how rewards can really play a role in your business, right? So for Mace, it could be book an appointment or book at my studio. That's a thing, and it must be there that you are clicking poop and you can book, right? So I want to go back, beloved, just to say,
beloved, to get to that clarity, would you say it's useful to maybe not copy, but take inspiration from a profile? Was that useful for you?
Yeah.
A profile that you think, this is similar in my industry, or maybe not similar in industry, but similar in the impact or the reach that it has?
Absolutely. So, and in fact, nowadays, when I was starting, there was no AI when I was starting my journey in LinkedIn, but now there's AI. It's so and I didn't say this, beloved, so two things. Number one, there are so many good, in your industry, you want to identify who are the leaders globally. And then you look at how they frame their narrative as the headline there. And then you try to frame your own based on that. And I'll tell you why it's important, beloved. There are so many searches that happen on LinkedIn every day. Billions of them. And if you have the right headline, they land on your page, right? So I don't know how many people I've had who are landing on my page because they've searched and because I have the right words. So just the right words as a headline, people land on your page, right? So, beloved, absolutely, you have to see who are the experts there. But also, when you see who the experts are there now, it's about now how you craft that AI. You know, whether it's ChatGPT or is it what's the one I like so much? Wow, it's just off my head now. It's not the Google one. It's
You said ChatGPT.
it's ChatGPT, but okay. So there's a Google one. There's, you know, if you what's it called?
Copilot?
No. There's another one.
That's ChatGPT.
Claude.
Claude.
Who's the, yeah, Claude. Oh, Claude is the best for me. You know, Claude is the best. So, and you asked it you asked Claude based on your profession, based on the experts, and then you craft your own that has to have the right keywords so that if Sis Nini is Googling, she lands on your profile because you have the right headline.
Okay.
So it's so crucial to have the right headline. But based, and again, I just want to go back to say, you're saying, what is it that you're trying to achieve? As an employee, you want to say, okay, who are my potential employers? What do I want them to know about me and my expertise? And then you craft it so cleverly on your headline.
Okay. The headline, to be clear, beloved, is the part just under your name.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Right. And if I can just move on a little bit from here to say, so the first thing, like I was establishing, is that you please, by all means, it doesn't matter what it is that you do. Actually, maybe let me make an example.
Yeah.
Let me make this example, even not even just for myself, but let's say I'm a helper. I look after children, right? In LinkedIn, they're all, I don't know how many people. I mean, as a helper, it means you cast across all industries. Now, if I'm on LinkedIn and I see, and I have a gun, Ozima, and I see that you are talking about an aspect about looking after children from your experience. Yeah? And today I see this aspect about looking after, and then tomorrow this one, the next day this one. Over time, remember, each and every time that you're posting something, I'm knowing something about you. You know, and that's the crucial bit. So, and I want to talk, beloved, about that. For me, I have 6,000 connection and some change. The idea behind that is to say, every day, if you can reach out to people in your industry who you think are relevant and connect with them, so that when you post, they see your stuff. Right? And just to...
Beloved, by connect, sorry, I'm going slowly through this. By connect, you mean look for them on LinkedIn and request that they follow me.
Yes.
Okay.
So look for them. Thank you for that, beloved. Okay. Yeah, so you look for them. And, you know, is Rodney here? He's not. I wanted to use him as an example. So Rodney one time posted about his promotion on LinkedIn. Yeah. It just went viral. Yeah. You know, and he has not posted. I checked before that he hadn't posted anything else. Yes. Right? But so here's the thing about connections. Yes. Right? And by the way, actually, let me use my own example. Yeah. When I've posted, Sis Nini has a large following on LinkedIn. When Sis Nini has liked my post, it's now gone viral because whenever someone likes your post, their connections see your post.
So if Mama Nini follows me and sees and likes my post, all the people that follow her
see your post.
See my post?
Yes. Right?
Wow.
And now, in fact, one of them, it just happened 4 weeks ago or something. Wow. She liked my post. Someone came on DM, looked for me. I have a brief.
Right.
That's simple. Right? And that is so fair.
Done.
You know? So it really can be that because I had posted something, someone understood what it is that I post. And I want to show you actually what the post that I did, right? Yes. Is this how I press? Oh, there it is, okay? Yeah, this is the post that I did. This picture was taken by Tsepo, right?
10%.
Yes, 10% more. You know? Now, I posted this about my experience regarding rewards. Right? And what I want you to see is the crucial bit. First of all, that will tell you, you know, I'm trying to show you an aspect of my business, right? And my experience, which is a crucial bit. You know, today I was telling my sister Loazi here, she posted something about bonds in her field, about which banks give you what kind of bonds, right? So I was telling her, 99% of us don't know that. You know, oftentimes you think that you're not an expert. You are. There are so many things that you do on a daily basis that are, for you, are obvious. For us, we have no clue. We have no way of knowing that. So it's just how cleverly you frame it so that someone becomes interested in what you do and they learn something about you. Now, because I posted this, what I want you to see, beloved, and this is where I want to really make a point, is I had 3,900 impressions. Right? This is one of my good posts, right? So now it means...
Are those like the same as likes? Impressions?
No, so likes there I only had like almost 50, right?
But impressions?
Impressions is someone who saw it on their phone. And that for me is crucial because I just need someone. Some people will never like. The person who reached out to me has never liked my because remember, at the end of the day, I'm trying to get business.
Impressions are what counts.
Impressions is what counts. Now, oftentimes, like Sis Nene just alluded to something. She when she was, and I had to go out, but she asked something about inner professions, like how many of you have been in a meeting and you need to protect someone. Oh, how did you frame it, Elder? Protect with the truth, right? LinkedIn responds to if people comment a lot. So this LinkedIn, I only had one comment. If people comment, the more viral your post goes, right? So if she asked that question and then 20 people commented, the impressions just increase. But what it says, because she asked that question, right? It says what expertise she does. And if I'm curious, I click on her profile, and that's what I was talking about earlier. When I click on her profile, this should be so obvious. Right? Including, in fact, my next piece is to do that. You see that banner at the back? Yeah. I wanted to also be so clear what I do. I'll actually have words there that say what it is that I do. Right? So if someone clicks and finds this, they should know exactly what it is that I do. Right? And so here, I just want you to see regarding the impressions. And I want to now show you what it means in my capacity, right? Here are the stats that LinkedIn gives you. And I want to pause here for a little bit, and I want to look at them, sorry, beloved, because I'm looking at the end. So for me, these are the important. So in my going for connections every time, like what my beloved explained, the people I'm looking for are business owners, I'm looking for brand managers, I'm looking for marketing managers. And because I've spent so much time connecting with those people, you see the majority of people who saw my post are those people, right? And every time after my post, I look at that because I want to always see that the people I want to see my post are seeing my posts, right? Because that's business. Because eventually, I want them to slide into my DM and ask for a proposal, right? I know that slide into DM. It makes me younger, ne?
A DM that can pay you. A DM that can pay you.
And number one. Number two, so that's about the kind of people with whichever, what you call, the right titles. Then there's companies that I'm going for, right? And these are deliberately I've gone for connections with those companies. And these are the companies that I've gone for, and they're seeing my stuff. Some of them, I'm already working with them. Some, I'm knocking and there's just nothing happening. But the idea is every time I post, they know about me. You know, so the idea is, so here's the thing, what we're saying is, how do you get them to trust you, to get to know you over time, so that when they are ready to buy, they call you, right? And for me, I have continental ambitions. So my business is Africa-wide, right? And to that end, in fact, now I'm doing business in Kenya. Right? Because of LinkedIn. There was no way I would have met those people if it wasn't for LinkedIn. In fact, when we went for Robbie and Rodney's wedding, I didn't know them. They got to know me via LinkedIn, and now we're doing business. Really, the world has become a global village. Literally, you're no longer subjected to geographical limitations. You can apply your skill set anywhere. And this is the place to play. I don't know how to emphasize it more enough. Now, to just emphasize my in terms of my evolution, right? You see here, it's still not enough international people seeing my post, so that's my next bit, right? So LinkedIn is showing me this, and I see, right, too many people from Johannesburg are seeing my post. Meanwhile, my business is continental, right? Yeah, there's a little Botswana to give me hope, But
And some people in Durban.
you know, so I need to evolve the connections, my content, so that people for Africa wide are seeing it. So this will be good for me, for example, for Mace, because our studio is Johannesburg, right? But for me, no. My business is continental. So I need this to change, right? So in terms of my goals, that's where I'm going now. Beloved, just to come in to emphasize the point before I think I've spoken for so long.
Oh, it's good.
Is to say, now here, it doesn't matter, and this is why I was trying to stop Caesar's kids, and they had to go, but it doesn't matter if you're Hlumi's age or 84, and everything in between. LinkedIn doesn't care. The one stat that I wanted to share, beloved, is only about 3 to 4% on LinkedIn share posts. People are there, they just look, they don't post.
Yeah.
So if you joined, you started making connections, and you posted, you are now in the top 3. Right?
Say that again. Are you saying most people on LinkedIn don't post?
Don't post.
They're just
zero post. They're just observing
the market.
They're just observing. The most they will post, they will tell you, "I've been promoted," or "I've gotten this new certificate," but there's no post that tells you about them. Right? And by the way, this is one place I was so glad to hear Mace has got a studio now. My next place to do video.
Is Case in Point Studio.
Yeah, Case in Point is there. Now I'll tell you why, and I'll make my point regarding trust. Do you know now, if I had Brad Pitt's voice, I'll know, or Halle Berry's voice, I'll know. Yeah, glad. Yeah, those who got it. Those, yeah. Yeah, so now the idea is, because I've heard them so much they don't know me, right? But because I've watched so much content from them, I know their mannerism, I know their voice, I know, you know what I mean? And as a result, what happens is, if there's a movie, these days I no longer go to a movie, but if there's a movie for Brad Pitt, or, what's her name, the one?
Mission Impossible.
Yes. I would, Mission Impossible. I would go there. Why? Because I've now watched, I like, and I'll consume their content. The idea behind this is to say, the industry is so wide, depending on whatever it is that you do, but if people come to trust you, come to know you, they will come and buy you. Because people do business to people, and so they come to buy from you. So now, how are you creating that? They call it personal brand, is it? Yeah. So that people trust you, and then they come and do business with you. It's to be so wildly successful, beloved. It's not necessary to have the whole market and you are the monopoly. No, they can be just a few good clients that you have that trust you, that believe in you. And it's made a massive difference.
And beloved, is this the normal LinkedIn that's available to everyone, or is this the paid for extra premium?
This is the free version. Wonderful. With all these tasks they give you for free. And so, by the way, and I was building it, and I don't think I did it justice, but if you want job security, this is it. Because if you have a network, and you can publish today. I know a colleague of mine, a former colleague of mine, published that she was leaving her work. She had 5 people coming for her. Just because, why? Because people trust her, know her. She's posted enough content, they now know what she does. The moment she was available, there were people saying, hey, come. So even your own employer, if you have a good LinkedIn page, it's difficult for them to let you go.
Gotcha.
And if they do, they know someone else will jump in.
Yeah.
And
I suppose the thing with when you're an employee is obviously you must check that you're posting stuff that's not, confidential, but that demonstrates your expertise.
Exactly. That's the crucial bit. So it's saying, so for example, let's say Alan is a project manager. Alan is telling us about project management aspects, showcasing his skill set without compromising the company. In fact, he can be showing us while extolling the company. Right. It's like, look, this is what we were doing this in this place. This is how the client was so happy. This was my role in this. So whoever is reading that, especially if they're relevant people, because you're connecting with the relevant people, then I'm like, oh, so Alan can do X, Y, Z. You know, and this, by the way, for me, beloved, it's a problem here at church. We did it as men there was just a round, we're sitting at your house, and I learned, oh, this guy does that, this guy does that. I didn't know. You know, it was such a big revelation to know. I mean, there were designers whom I didn't know that's what they did. Now on LinkedIn, you are now telling millions of people that this is what I do, this is how I do it, you know, and who knows who will bite.
And beloved, if I am a business owner, I have a big or small business, I'm starting my LinkedIn journey, and I'm going to try take it seriously. I'm going to take you at your word that, you know, business is going to come. Would you advise I start with a personal profile? So do I start, Tumi Hlongwane, this is my professional background, or with my business? Do you know what I mean?
So here's what I would advise. Thank you. That's a brilliant question.
Sorry, I'm going to ask you my last question as well, just cognizant of time. The ongoing commitment to maintaining, because you mentioned, you know, very few people, like I'm starting this journey, I'm going to try, but what kind of commitment do I need to set aside? Time, 30 minutes a week, an hour a week, more than that, you know.
I hear you.
What do you suggest?
So, wow, those are such good questions. Number one, regarding where you should start, my opinion is start with the personal profile. You know, because corporate, you know, yes, you know, under law it's a living organism, but people fall for Tumi. You know, so if you can start with that, and number one, and number two, if you start with this, like, so you make sure that I don't know if where am I supposed to put it there?
It's the light-up.
There you go. If you start with this, you know, and today I'll just post today. There are some sites that can help you with the headline. I'll post on the church group today.
Yes.
So the headline is so crucial, number one. And number two, that picture.
The banner? Your picture?
That picture is so crucial. Can I tell you something about that? This picture was taken outside of this church, by the way. Where's that gentleman? He was here today. Yes, you know how I got this picture, yes? Before that, I had a different picture that is from old wherever. The difference this picture has made in terms of my connection request being said yes to. Yeah. So that profile picture is so crucial. Wow. And now we have case in point, so we can go there, right? But it's so important that that picture is so good, because that's what someone sees and say, right, is this person I want to be associated with or not? And remember, it's just a second or two. They're not going even further. It's like, no. Or that, wow, yes, you know? And that's about the profile. So it's so crucial. Then there's the banner. You know, what do you want people to, when they look immediately, what should they see? You know, so it's worth a small expenditure. Small is an opinion, of course, but, you know, so that this here is good. I mean, I need to do some serious work on this as well. But if this is good, you'll be amazed at the conversion rate changing.
And there are people that can, like, I don't know how, I didn't even know you could change that.
So I imagine
banner.
that if you went to Mace now, she would know how to do this, number one. And number two, what you need here is to, for me, beloved, is to make sure before you go to Mace, what should it say?
Yeah, be clear on
what should it say?
Right?
And then Mace can tell you after, okay, from a stylistic perspective, X, Y, Z, you know?
Yes.
I just wanted to say also, a banner on its own, unintentionally, whatever. A banner can also be a selling point. Like my LinkedIn banner is the book that I published. Do you know that after I put that banner, the orders from Amazon, globally though, because you see, if people look, oh, she wrote a book, and then I put things like click, go to my website, do whatever. But I'm saying the banner is not just to make it beautiful. It does multiple things as well, over and above it looking good, but there's something that it says that people might want to know more from your banner.
It's very functional, yeah.
Conversion.
Yeah,
conversion. And then now, beloved, I want to go to the point that you mentioned
about
regarding
time, right?
about time and what you must invest.
As we close.
As we close. You know, whether it's employment and so forth. Even in business, when I went to, how can my product be so valuable, so valuable? But I've only learned, and for me tragically late, to say that it's value and visibility.
Yeah.
If you don't have visibility, who knows about your value, right? And so if you are not visible, and this LinkedIn allows you visibility at the cheapest rate possible. I don't know which other forum you're gonna be able to meet to present your case to so many people, so many times, so freely.
For free.
For free, yeah. And so how much time are you looking to spend on visibility? That's how I want to reframe.
Okay.
Businesses spend so much money on marketing. Why? They want visibility so you can buy their product. Because they know value alone doesn't work. They need to tell you about the value.
Right.
So in my career, how much time am I willing to spend for my visibility so that I can create conversions and be successful? And
That's
so
the
the way you answer that question, it's now up to you. Right.
That's the challenge. Thank you, beloved. Should we take questions?
Where do I start? I want to start here, sorry.
Oh, thanks for so much information. I just want to find out, or maybe let me make an example. Can maize, I asked my question. Can maize have a LinkedIn profile, separate, saying, let's say for Amari, and for Case in Point, and for Amazing Grace? Let's say Amazing Grace is a company, and Amari is a company, and Case in Point is can she have 3 separate profiles?
Oh yeah, you can have as many separate profiles as possible for your different brands. But what I suggest is, in terms of yourself, is your primary. It's only you. You shouldn't have 2 profiles, just that. But what you can do via that profile is to let people know that you run this. You know, there's Amari, there is and a link towards that. There's Case in Point. And by the way, that's so crucial in terms of letting people know who you are. One of the things I've done now is to deliberately include God in my posts, because I want you to know that I am a worshiper of God. Because it's authenticity to say, who am I, right? So I am Mace, I sing. So I'm like, wow, she does video and she can sing. You know, so it's just different aspects you're letting someone know. Like, I go to church, I don't eat meat, I do this, I do that, And when someone now gets to know the whole picture, that's what they're falling for. They say, no, I want to do business with you. And someone else might be cheaper. No, I prefer you because I trust you, So they can have the different brands, but you one. And just to emphasize that, personal brand is what drives business. Like what my elder was referring to Elon Musk. Elon Musk has, I don't know how many millions of followers. His businesses don't come to 10%. Tesla doesn't have as many followers as him. So personal brand is what drives.
Also, the more you have, remember, it's the time you have to invest. If you have 4 profiles, for me, I have my personal, I do have my company's one. In my personal, I link to say, go to my website, because I don't have time to managing 5 of
Absolutely.
them. So the primary one is the personal one. That's how it works better. But it must have links to your other
Yes.
personal ones.
Yes.
All right. I like where you landed at the end about value and visibility, right? And I was having a chat earlier on, and it's going to link to what I'm going to talk about. It's going to link to the earlier discussion in the morning as well. So what we tend to do, a lot of us, is even in the corporate wolves, as I call myself, right? You are there, you do your job very well, excellently, and you finish there. You think that your job will speak for you, right? What people have mastered over the years, and I've got a model for this, and I'm happy to share that with the youth, is you then need to be very deliberate about the work you do and how you communicate that internally so that you then can be promoted. There are people that work work, 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 and don't say anything, and they leave it to their managers. And their managers don't have a story to tell internally about them. So it is up to you on how you then craft the narrative around your personal brand. So it's very, very important. So again, in that model that I have is that you've got your internal circle that you deal with on a daily basis, the value chain. They need to know what you do. They need to know and understand the value that you bring. Then you need to have another circle, which is the leadership of this value chain, the influencers, the decision makers. They need to know the value you bring to their business so that they can speak on your behalf in rooms that you are absent, right? And then the third component of that is that what I call the external component of your personal branding, your communication. So what you need to do is you need to build a network of senior people in the industry, industry captains, that then give you access to also spaces that you don't have, but then you need to bring value to them, right? Then LinkedIn also, which I use very well, is now to tell the industry about the work that you do so that you then make yourself available to the rest of the world so that you can be hired. This is critical for anyone. So if you don't do it, you're not building brand. The world does not know what you do. And therefore you're going to remain working and you're going to be a worker forever.
Have you noticed, have you noticed that, have you noticed that, I know we're coming, I'm not going nowhere. Have you know, it's, overruled. It's the best marketers that get the gigs. It's not the best qualified. It's the best marketers that get the gigs. And so, like, just to reinforce what Beloved asked, to say, how much time should I spend? And it's not just about the time, it's like how good, you need to get good at it. My sister.
Can I just say something quickly? I'm volunteering you, Beloved. So after I chatted to Amani, he gave me like an hour of his time, and we had a conversation like this, and I gave it a go, right? I rewrote. I said, please look at my LinkedIn. He gave me honest feedback. I rewrote it. I'm like, please look at it again. He's given me like 3 options of how it can be better. So, I think Mama Nini was talking earlier about getting people to an inside person to help you for advice and whatever. So I'm volunteering our elder Amani for your LinkedIn. Can we get a mic over there, please? Oh, sorry.
I was just answering to what Sabelo was saying.
Oh, okay.
Regarding having different things in social media. Sometimes it's just hard to just draw the line, especially when it comes to when you want to do personal branding. You want to give the idea that you're an expert in that field. Sometimes once it's like split into different things, it's a murky way where people lose some sort of loyalty to you. So you need to focus on your focus. And don't put many things at once. I don't know, some people may disagree to that, but it's something that I'm sure I'm also dabbling in, like, how do you actually put this together so that you must be an expert, a trusted expert in that field, instead of having many profiles with different things, But you can do that, but you may maybe put it under one umbrella of that keyword, of who you are.
While the mic is going, just to emphasize that, people need to know when they think of you, what do they think about? Quick, they think about you, they know, Sis Nini, what? Amani, what?
Thank you. Thank you so much for this session. Actually, there's a question which is Tumi posed some towards the end about LinkedIn posts when you're an employee. From an entrepreneurship perspective, I think I get it, and I probably would post more. But as an employee, firstly, I'm very grateful for LinkedIn. I finished my Microsoft exam certification for data engineering, posted that. Within a week, they called me. Actually, 3-4 days, via LinkedIn, they reached me. Then they called me, they're like, hey, we see you've got the certification.
I'm like, yes, I got it. They're like, okay, cool. We'd like to have an interview with you. Cool. When are you available? Then I'm thinking they're going to say maybe this Friday. They're like, are you available this afternoon for a call? I don't know, what do you, this afternoon? Nah, let me study, let me prepare myself. This is my first job interview, So I told them 2 days and then got the interview. It feels like the job was already mine. I feel like God just already, I didn't even need to work for it. Turns out, we get the CEO went to school at Wits with my CEO. So when I was at the interview, I was like, no, Jason is our lecturer. Then, oh, Jason, that was my classmate. And then it's almost as if, But now I get the job, and I see Amani's post, I see everyone's post, and I'm just thinking, LinkedIn is so cringe. It is so cringe. It's like, I'm excited to share that I got involved in this network, and I'm just it's like, guys, it's like, I know this guy. You don't even talk you don't even know these words. This is ChatGPT, and then you're posting for us here. I'm like, I know this guy. Yeah, these are my friends, and now you're jubilated. So that's my question. How? I just feel like, maybe I post when I get a new job or a new certification. But these other posts of hard at work today, it's Monday, I'm so excited to reach I just find that so cringe personally. But I guess it does keep you in front of people's eyes. So how do you get over that? When is it helpful? When is it cringe? Then number 2, in terms of posting as an employee, I just feel like I might post something and my boss will be like, you're not that great. Or I don't know, in my mind, it's like I'm bragging and I have this group of managers or whatever hovering. They're like, no, Alan is trying to be visible so he can leave. Then that will sabotage me somehow. So that is what is preventing me from using LinkedIn. Whereas I know if I'm an entrepreneur, I can do all of these things. But as an employee, I'm just like, thank you. So it's 2-part.
Yeah, so what you say there is your first question. I love it because I also use ChatGPT, and it's just difficult to be authentic. I think that's the word you're looking for, authentic. So Alan, I've seen your evolution here as a praise and worship leader. By the way, today I really liked what you're doing here today, If you're authentic to share your journey, and I'm actually trying to see how do I... Okay, let me actually start from here. I'm stiff. I'm just stiff. It doesn't come naturally to... But the more you share, the more better you get. So the more you exercise in the muscle. So if you don't start posting, you won't get better. Yeah. So growth requires you to post. So that's departure point number 1. Number 2, if you can share your evolution of your growth in your career, same way like the one about praise and worship, to say when I started, this is what I was struggling with, this is where I am now, this is where I'm going. It can be about sound, it can be about lyrics, it can be about sing. So there are many aspects you share that are authentic, that don't make Mace jealous. It's true. That struggle is true. So even if she reads Alan, wow, the way you put it, I like, you know what I mean? Because it's a true journey. It doesn't make you're just sharing authentically your journey, right? And in sharing that, you'll be amazed where now, maybe Tumi wants to start praise and worship, like, wow, so if you start, that's what you should look out for. Boom. Maybe there's another church like, oh, you're at that level? How can we get him? And if there's a conversion link now, so that's one of the key things. So sometimes as an employee, you just want people to know, and then they can slide in your DM if they want a better, because some people can be like, I want someone like that, I'm willing to pay double for that. But here's where I want you to think, Alan, in that thing, and I went there too fast, but I know we don't have time. It's now a global village, right? Yes, your boss might have a problem here and there, but it could be someone from the US is calling you, right? The opportunities are now endless. No posting is self-sabotaging in I don't know what level, right? The idea is be authentic, improve your game and your craft, but share. What was the second question? I forgot.
Can I maybe jump in?
Please do.
Yeah. So I'm going to respond to your question around posting as an employee, right? Yeah. So I was actually having a heart-to-heart session with my former boss 2 days ago, right? And we're talking about promotion, right? And he said to me, I'm going to share with you 6 things that we look at as far as promoting people to, managing director or managing executives, right? Effectively calling it franchise leadership. So driving culture of the organization, driving strategy, developing other leaders, driving business outcomes, market leadership, and then risk management, right? And as bankers in my world, we're highly regulated, right? So meaning that the confidentiality issue is critical. So what you post, you have to ensure that it's not going to put the business at risk. So what you do is you ensure that each and every post elevates the organization, right? It's not going to create any discomfort to the organization because all you're doing is you're edifying. And then as you edify, then you build the brand for the organization and then for you. So maintain that. And I want to double click on the point around authenticity. How do we get to know stuff is Hong Kong? Over time, it gets revealed, right? So you have to be authentic because remember what you're doing is you're building your own personal brand. So if you then going to say stuff that you don't mean or you don't live by, it's going to come out. So you do what you need to do to build the personal brand. Whatever the other person is doing, it's their own issue. Over time, that will catch up with them. You build your story authentically.
I just wanted to just also just give like 2 case studies just in support of the power of LinkedIn, but social media in general. A big part of like what I do every day is just digital marketing. Like I think that out of my whole career, that's probably the most successful. It's been successful for me, but also successful in for other people. There was a time where I had an opportunity, because of LinkedIn, by the way. I was just minding my own business, posting what I post. I like to, mainly if I'm on LinkedIn, I like to post stuff about the things I'm interested. So it's either like what's going on in the industry and stuff like that. I've actually had to learn about what my target audience is. So anyway, a lady hits me up on my DMs. Hey, Elray, I see you do digital marketing. I was wondering if you'd be interested in an opportunity. I'm just like, oh, this is cool. This is interesting. So by the way, this lady, they rich. Like, they're rich. They play like renewable energy rich. So she hits me up. So first thing I do is I'm trying to, who's this person? I'm seeing there's money here. So anyway, I go and I'm like, okay, definitely interested. So we set up a call or 2. And she's like, I would like you to run my LinkedIn. I'm just like, okay. So I'm like, okay, let me go with this. Because one thing I know, like, I've been taught to, like, sometimes you just need to understand where a good opportunity is. It may not be like, hey, you're going to be a CEO now. Like, you need to know where to start small and where. So she's like, LinkedIn. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. Then she's like, can you draft me a proposal of how we're going to grow my LinkedIn? These are my goals. So that's what I do. I proposal. Then she's like, how much do you want? I'm just like, let me take a chance because these people have money. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So I was just like, okay, to manage your LinkedIn, I require 15,000 a month. This is just LinkedIn. I'm gonna post 3 times, okay? We're gonna make it a mixture of articles. I'm gonna design your posts, whatever. She's like, that's fine. She didn't even argue. There's levels to clients. She didn't even argue. This is something I could do like literally like really quick. So anyway, I managed her LinkedIn for 2 years. And you know, when I'm reading all the data and all the stats, people are like, wow, that was a great article. Wow, in the inboxes, what? That time, who is it? Me. It's me. So this lady, she did it. The key point here is if a woman who's got all the money she needs can invest that much money in something like LinkedIn, I always say, play with rich people and just do what they do because they know why they're doing what they're doing. So I started doing articles for and content on cryptocurrency. At that point, I had an idea of what it was about. And that's why I was like, Jesus is good, because at that point I was learning about crypto, but I didn't know, it was just for me. So then when she was like, do crypto, I was like, oh, okay. So I did crypto, then she chucked me into renewable energy. So now I have to create content on industry. I have no idea. So you can imagine the amount of reading I had to do, learning about things I didn't know. So that was the first case study, that the amount of business this woman got, like, because I had access to her LinkedIn, so her DMs, everything, all the people who commented, the contacts this woman would get, like her impressions were, because like we had like a strategy of when we were going to post. So LinkedIn has the, in terms of organic content, it's one of the highest in terms of the freshness of your organic content. It goes further for longer. So it stays fresh for about 2 weeks. So you post something on LinkedIn, it will show on people's profiles for as long as 2 weeks. That's what makes LinkedIn. And if you do like LinkedIn ads, for example, they're the most expensive ads. You're looking at nothing less than $600 US dollars just to do a campaign. So it's because it's that important. It gets you in front of the right people. So that's just like the first. The second was my own life. Chester. I've had gigs from the World Bank. Like I'm telling you, the World Bank, I got a gig with them. The first time they paid me, like when it got into my account, and this is the truth, I got so scared that FNB would call me and ask, where did you get this money? Because remember, it's not coming from an SA bank. It's coming from, listen, when the money comes into your bank, it says international, what, World Bank, what. I was like, these people are going to call and ask what. But where did that gig come from? LinkedIn. A lady who was my team leader, she hit me up, hey, Alre, I see you've been doing training in digital media, would you like a call? That's how it happened. This lady who I told you about, who was managed at LinkedIn, she has this company, they run all the big energy events in Africa. She put me on, like you were saying, someone inside. She put me on and then I connected on LinkedIn with the CEO of the company again. I'm telling you, those people, ballpark figure. And I was just guessing to Jesus to say, Lord, they don't complain, they don't say nothing. And recently, I had another lady, again, it's all connected, these networks. Another lady, yeah, it's like, I don't know what's, yes, that's actually the truth. My biggest clients, it's just women. So this last week, I had another DM on my LinkedIn again. And this lady, she used to be the CEO of this other company, but now she works in another company. And like, again, these are all industries, new industries. So she's in the agricultural innovation, so DFI. I actually learned that 2 days ago. I had to Google what DFI is. But big money again. And LinkedIn, hey, Alre, I see, remember you said exposure, I see you do this and this. Would you be interested in an opportunity? Boom, boom, yes, ka, SLA, cha, done. And like, this is just a testament, and I'm saying this because even though I work in digital media, it's LinkedIn is something I started taking seriously because I started to see, usually like I do things for people, but for myself, I'm just It's fine, because I'm so tired after doing for people, I don't have time. But like Alan was saying, people will be like, yeah, and I also feel that. But like another way to look at it is like TikTok. TikTok is like cringe. When I see people doing dances, then you hear but they're making money, these people. But it's all about the culture. LinkedIn is a culture on its own. And like what you need to understand is that, when they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Like when you're on LinkedIn, you also must put on your, hey, it's been great to make these achievements. You have to talk the talk, because the people you're trying to get on your side talk that talk. So even if you have to be in Rome and do as the Romans do, you need to do it. But LinkedIn, definitely, it's just one of the most powerful in terms of career.
Good afternoon, Church. So I'm just quickly hitching on the bandwagon for LinkedIn as well. So at the end of May, I found myself jobless unexpectedly. And then I started doing my search, and I didn't have any LinkedIn. I'm talking from the perspective of someone who does not deal well with social media on the whole. I don't like social media. I have 1 or 2 accounts here and there, but I'm not active. They're lying dormant. I haven't posted in ages. It's a whole thing. Until I read an article on Forbes. And one of the things it was saying was, you are doing yourself a complete disservice if you are not tapping into LinkedIn. And one of the key things that was said there was tapping into the algorithm of the platform. If you do not exploit that algorithm to the highest order, then you will not reach whatever goal you have set for yourself. Be it presence, be it trying to find a new job, being just, wanting to get more influential in the space or connecting with people at the right level. You will not get there if you do not tap into the algorithm. There is a way that the AI functions in the background, and you need to dig into that. So as soon as I saw that, blew my mind. I've had LinkedIn since 2017 and doing absolutely nothing with it. I started looking at what people are doing in my industry. And again, I'm talking from the perspective of someone who has some level of anxiety around social media. And maybe this, for those people, might be a little bit daunting if you're seeing like over almost 7,000 connections and whatnot. I have under 500. But I had 300 before I read the article. I had around 200 before I read the article. I went and got my CV assessed, and then I posted it as is on LinkedIn. I started connecting with recruiters I didn't know, but they were in my field. I started connecting with people in high or senior management in organizations that I was interested in. And then I was constantly on the feed, monitoring the field, monitoring activity on my page, and I updated my profile picture. I don't have a banner. I likely will not have one. I don't post thoughts. At most, I will repost somebody else's thing. I will not say my own thing. But with that, I guess, seemingly minimal interaction on LinkedIn, I did about 3 things that massively changed my trajectory, and I got an executive offer. It is the best job I have ever received, and I got it through LinkedIn. Random day, an executive director of a company approaches me and says, I like what I see on your profile. Can we have a chat? And we had a chat, and the rest is history. I still get inboxes from good organizations that are saying to me, we like this, can we have a chat? I had to tell another one that, hey, I just signed my offer, I'm sorry, but I cannot engage anymore. And it's the best thing. So to those that are maybe not as clued in, they aren't, super excited to be on steroids in terms of activities on LinkedIn, you just need to do minute things, little things. Yeah. You might repost something that someone you love or someone you admire has posted. You repost that and you let it be, just so you can tap into the algorithm and you can still maintain a level of presence and connectivity to the people within your immediate setting. Yeah. And that thing carries on. It has a life of its own. It will keep living and keep on going. But you just need to commit to doing just a few tweaks. Yep.
and you are fine.